Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reaction Shots for 2024. The end, the wrap-up of 2024. Weird year, good year, strange year, good year, I guess.
Creative year. I thought it was creative. Yeah, it was very creative. Horror.
Yeah. An interesting year for horror, in my opinion, because like so many movies got maybe overhyped.
I don't think so.
In my opinion, because like everything, I got parasited on like almost every horror movie of the year. Because like everyone was like, "Oh my god, Oddity, it's so good," and then I see it, and I'm like, "Okay."
I loved Oddity.
I noped out of Oddity.
Nosferatu. Oh, you noped out?
I parachuted out of Oddity, but we can talk about Oddity.
I loved Oddity.
Because it was too scary or too boring?
Because I have woke reasons. I have woke reasons out of Oddity. No. You know, there are mental health things that piss me off in horror movies. Anytime they use like a insane asylum, it honestly could go in a good direction. It really could. It could go in a good direction, and people can tell me later, but I am so tired of that setting where I couldn't handle it, personally, so maybe Oddity is an amazing movie and it handles it well, but I just seen so many. Yeah.
I don't even think that factors into the plot at all.
Really. Oh, it doesn't. It was at the beginning.
The husband is a psychiatrist and that's about it. Like, it just takes place at their house.
Yeah.
I love a good spirit medium in a horror movie. Like, sign me up, I'm in no matter what. 100%.
The sister was very cool. Like, her character was neat. Yeah.
I need to go back in then. I thought it was going to be like 2 hours of an insane asylum, and then I was like, I'm not in the mood for this.
Doesn't factor in at all.
Oh, awesome. I'm going to go check it out then. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's great.
I did rewatch Shutter Island last night, which is an interesting.
How did it hold up?
I did not like Shutter Island.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting.
People's eyes are getting big. Yeah. People on the podcast's eyes got big.
Shutter Island's an interesting one because it's like, and I won't spoil anything, but like if you know what's going on, rewatching it is really interesting because there are all these little things, and like. The first time I saw it, the filmmaking is so bad and jarring for the first half of the movie, and I was like, "This is Scorsese. Like, this has to be on purpose." That was my initial thought, and then like watching it again, there are stuff that's like, it's so overt. Like the filmmaking is so overtly bad. Like the choices are so crazy, and like sometimes there are like very intentional continuity errors. Like someone drinking a cup that's not even there, stuff like that. That I was like, oh, okay, yeah, my initial read on this was correct. Like this is all intentional to, for reasons. But like,
what about the misogyny?
I don't know.
Maybe that was just at first blush.
Beyond the period pieced aspect of it, it's mostly about just him. Yeah. But like. Yeah, I didn't have that read really, but yeah. I mean, like, I don't think it's misogynistic for a female character to not be virtuous, but like, it's interesting. It's a weird movie. Like, it's not like an amazing movie, but it's interesting, I think.
Lovely, Unhinged. It's one of my favorite
things. One of my favorite movies this year was a extremely sociopathic women character, and
really?
Just fascinating. Yeah.
Which movie?
Highly recommend.
Wait, no, sorry.
By the way, we are
Isla, Matt, and Hubert.
Yeah. Hello.
Welcome to the podcast. Yeah, I skipped all that.
I need to know if Isla watched Smile.
I didn't.
Smile 2 or Smile?
Yeah, Smile 2.
Right. Gotta watch it.
Now you're gonna get parasited, though. I'm sorry.
I mean, everyone talks about how good it is. Like I'm resistant to it just because like, suicide is kind of a intense subject for me. So like, but
and that's like the primary.
Part. But like I ain't against the movie. I'm against suicide, but. I've heard it's good. I don't know. I've heard people compare it to It Follows, kind of.
Yeah, it's fucking good. Number 2 is so good.
Yeah, I heard number 2 is better.
It's so good.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
We're
it's
off to the races. Yeah.
well, it's kind of interesting because like what have you seen lately is also probably all stuff from 2024, and we're doing the year in review kind of episode here. I've got the box office hits and misses.
The receipts.
We could talk about that. We've got all of our patrons have talked about stuff, but like anything that you've seen lately that wouldn't really fall into the 2024 envelope, or like, because we're mostly going to talk about movies, I imagine, unless people bring up TV. But like, you know, like I watched Black Doves. I really liked that.
Yeah,
that's
good.
the show on Netflix. The middle, like
Darling.
episodes 4 and 5, I was like, there were a couple of choices in those episodes that the characters make where I'm like, why have we done this? But then it like sticks the landing, and I was like, okay, all in all, I really loved it. But like, there are a couple of choices where I was like, don't send that text. Like, don't do that. And like,
Yeah.
don't go to Michael's house. What are you doing? Like, but like, yeah.
I like that they weren't the best spies
Yeah.
necessarily. It was kind of fun that way. Like, they are not the Americans. They are not perfect.
Right.
They are flawed, not only flawed characters, but flawed spies. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I were a spy,
that's what's-
I might be able to have more restraint than you.
Yeah. That's what's interesting about the show is like, you're like, how trained are they? Like, I'm like, is she literally just like copying a hard drive sometimes? And that's like the extent of it. Like, yeah, it's interesting show.
It's fun. It was
It's
really
really
fun. Great holiday show also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holiday show. Very like, I liked the themes, the dynamics of the characters were really great characters. Just really good.
I was like 10 out of 10 on it until I just finished Day of the Jackal, though, which it was.
Is that good too?
It's fucking incredible.
What is that? I haven't even heard of that.
Day of the Jackal. It's got Redmayne.
Oh,
It's on-
really?
Yeah, and it's up for Best Drama at the Golden Globes.
It's a show?
And
Yeah,
he's
it's
an
a shit.
assassin, dude. He's the Jackal. Remember the Bruce Willis Jackal?
that terrible movie? Yeah.
The Bruce Willis Jackal is loosely on. There's a book and a movie from back in the day.
Yeah, starring the actress of Jean Doman, which is a fantastic Chantal Akerman movie. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
this show is so good. It's got the girl from Captain Marvel, like Captain Marvel's best friend. I forget her name. But she's MI6, and then Redmayne is the Jackal,
Yo.
and it's like a cat and mouse. It's fucking
Yo,
so
that
good.
sounds
Yeah.
good, dude.
Good. It's
Yeah. Yeah,
good.
the trailer.
You
I
both
sat and
love
watched
it.
the trailer and I was like, this looks so enthralling. Yeah.
I'd say it's like Black Dove's vibes, but like more serious. So that's why I liked it. Where
How
Black
long
Dove's-
is it?
There's 10 episodes, but episodes are only like 45 usually.
Oh, okay.
Usually, or like 50.
I can't wait to
it
watch it.
moves.
It's
It-
high
dude-
on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew, it was hard not to binge. I would watch like 2 or 3 at a time. I was like, oh my
Oh,
gosh.
great.
Yeah.
Great. I'm so excited. Thank you.
What is that on?
Peacock.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody's got that. I'll wait until Poker Face comes back and I'll add that on the list.
Yeah.
Also, I watched Dune Prophecy, which I really liked.
Yes. Pull out your blade.
Pull out your blade. Stop. Interesting. Like, I really liked it, obviously, and it's like very like women led, which I like.
Yeah, like the whole thing felt like
Yeah. Like in the Denis Villeneuve Duneverse, and like obviously based on a book by Brian Herbert, Frank's son, and whatever the other guy, Kevin something, that writes with him. So it's like a later book, and it introduces some stuff that I'm like when they introduced a certain thing, I'm like, how do I feel about this? But it was pretty good all in all. I liked it. Some
That's
great
exciting to me
characters.
too. I want more Dune, and
Yeah.
both of you seem slightly not disappointed but hesitant on Dune 2.
We were
so,
Dune on it.
yeah. How does How does this like hold up or compare to Dune 2? Equal, better?
Way different.
Very different.
Way
just-
less spectacle and just way more philosophy.
TV
Like,
show
all
budget,
in.
like,
yeah.
but it's a TV show budget that manages its budget really well because it never looks
Yeah.
cheap.
Good call.
Like it never looks cheap compared to the movies. It's just a different story. Like we're not having wars and stuff like that, but like if you see Shai Hulud, like it looks just like the movie. The ships look just like the movie. Like everything, except it's 10,000 years before Paul Atreides. So it's like,
really? Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's
it's
significant,
160
yeah.
years after the Machine Wars and 10,000 years before Paul Atreides.
I need a
So you're like,
Machine Wars movie or
dude,
show.
yeah,
Isla.
the
Where is
Butlerian
that?
Jihad, dude. Like
That would be
it's
a good
crazy.
That'd be a good avenue for anime spinoff. If they wanted to
Yeah.
do an anime, do the Machine Wars.
Yeah.
Hey.
But it's interesting because it's like in this weird, like that little middle ground before all the stuff that we know of Dune. Yeah. It's
Big fan of
interesting.
Mark Strong.
Oh my God. Love Mark Strong.
Love Mark Strong.
love a Mark Strong appearance. It's
Yeah.
like, because he is kind of that guy. Like, I think Jason or Sophia was like, oh, it's that guy. And I was like, that's Mark Strong, baby.
Yeah, I love him.
He just shows up as like that guy and a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
and obviously Travis Smell. I love him, dude. Ragnar.
Oh yeah, he
Sophia
plays.
hyped.
Oh, Sophia like gushes about him constantly.
Yeah.
she's just like he plays crazy, like an off center so well because you're just like you don't know what this guy's gonna do.
Yeah,
It's like okay, this dude's unhinged.
yeah.
Yeah,
So cool. It was cool to see. Who's the lead? What's her name? Emily.
yeah. Emily, is it Wilson or Mortimer? No,
Something. Yeah, but it was like these old school women that I would see in like 1990s and like 2000s movies.
Emily Watson.
Yeah, she's in like Red Dragon and shit.
Yeah, she's.
It was
great.
cool to see these like side characters, like not side characters, but like growing up, I used to see them in like supporting roles.
Yeah,
So it was
I
cool that they were like
love-
the leads.
I think Olivia Williams is her name, the sister.
I love her, dude.
Tula, like
Yes.
her arc and her character and like the
Obsessed.
performance of both adult and young Tula, incredible. Just so good. Anyways,
Good
Dune.
show. Good show.
Silo season 2 is trucking along.
I saw they picked up season 3 and 4, so that shit's
Oh,
not
that's
going
good news.
anywhere. Yeah,
That's good news. Apple,
Settle
dude,
in.
they support their high concept sci-fi shows. They just don't cancel them usually, except for Constellation or whatever the hell that show is called.
I'm on episode 4, I think 4 or 5.
Silo's a good one when you don't have to wait between week to
Yeah.
week. It's a slow burn. Like
For sure.
you'll watch an episode and like it'll inch forward like
Yeah,
half a plot point. And you're just like
Yeah.
like I'm loving this, but at the same time it's like let's go.
yeah.
But I do really like it.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Did I watch any movies recently that were not of this year?
No. Oh.
Yeah, nothing that we haven't talked about already. Anybody else have anything that isn't exactly
I
2024
watched
movies
the
before we?
entire Dark Knight trilogy in one sitting. It was nice.
Oh,
I haven't done that in a
yeah.
while. It had been a minute. I was like, I'm watching all 3. I'm ready. I'm locked in. I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
craving it. I
Did
saw
Rise
Batman
hit better? This
I've
rewatch? You've always liked Rise.
I've always loved Rise. I still think this rings true. Dark Knight Rises is a flawed masterpiece. I swear.
That's just an okay movie then.
Like 80% of it is so high concept. It's some
Yeah.
of Nolan's best work. It actually has the most character emotion out of all 3. Dark Knight proper is like plot. That
Yeah.
it's plot.
Oh yeah. There's not a lot
100%.
of feelings in it.
Yes, Dark Knight Rises has feeling. It has emotion, and that is why I am always so like receptive towards it. But I love all 3. Like Batman Begins might be my favorite still. Dark Knight is like the best easily, and then Dark Knight Rises is just like a really cool, fun take on human Batman. You know, a good conclusion.
Well, and it's also just one of those things where it's like, you know, with the loss of Heath Ledger, like what would have happened? Like we don't know. So yeah.
And Nolan was asked about that like after, and he's like, I'll never say. Never ask me again. I will never say what the plot would have been.
Yeah.
Had Heath. He's like not going there. That door will never be opened. He's taking that to his grave.
I watched Creature Commandos. I've seen a few. That's cool. I like it. And Cape Crusader though.
Episode? Did you like the Frankenstein one?
I don't know if I've gotten to that one. I watched the first, it's like oh yeah, where she's like, yeah, the flashback of him like stalking her. Yeah.
Yeah. Thought you would love that.
I did. I like that. Cape Crusader though, I loved.
Yeah.
This past year. Oh my god.
Yeah, I gotta finish that. I got like halfway.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
I know.
What are you, a scrub, dude?
I know.
I can't wait for season 2. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's so
cool. Yeah,
we've talked
so
about
cool.
it on the show before, but yeah. Oh, loved it.
Yeah. I've been mostly watching movies, and I have like a top 10 list for this year, and then I have like honorable mention movies that would not make the top 10 list. So I don't know whether to save those or like hit those now. It's kind of like, but I've mostly been like plowing through movie after movie after movie after movie.
Yeah.
I haven't formalized a list. I was planning on kind of doing that while we were doing the episode. So we can end on our top 10s, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get to 10, dude.
Yeah, it was hard because it was a very, very creative year. Like, so creative. Like, I didn't see a lot of, like, you know, like, perfect or just, like, amazing movies, but I saw a lot of very great creative movies.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of just, like, outside of the box movies doing a lot of different things, experimenting, and that made me really happy. Like, a lot of other years I've seen movies that were, like, better movies than this year, but that were just kind of like playing it safe. And this year I was so happy and so surprised by people just doing new things. And that this was a better year than most for creativity. And that made me really happy. In terms of TV, I've been watching Cleo. Which is a spy show from Germany. And it kind of is like Germany's like it's like subtitled, so it's like it's Germany's version of like Killing Eve almost. It's very similar to Black Doves. It's got like it's a little more stylistic than that. It's almost like a Wes Anderson, Quentin Tarantino, like highly saturated color, very like snappy, Edgar Wrighty, if you can like imagine that kind of feeling, but featured on spy stuff. It's like when the Berlin Wall fell down and East Germany is like dissolved kind of into, you know, a unified Germany. And there was like a spy for the Stasi, an assassin. And all of a sudden she's like, oh shit, what do I do? My former top brass like betrayed me, and now I have like I need to go get revenge on them. My country no longer exists, but I was totally like fucked over by them, and so I'm out for revenge, kind of like a Kill Bill but with spies.
It's good premise.
And it's pretty awesome, very, very stylized and fun. So yeah, if you're in the mood for more spy stuff after Black Doves, but you want like a very cool set design, production design, lots of color. Cleo's been fun so far.
That sounds
and
cool.
Then I have to admit, totally self-indulgent, I've been watching my own show. It came out very recently. I worked so hard on it at the beginning of the year. It's on Netflix now. Rhythm and Flow, season 2.
Nice.
If you like hip hop at all, I think it's pretty good. It's got like all kinds of great people on it, like Glorilla and Busta Rhymes and just all kinds of cool people from the hip hop world. So I liked it. I'm glad it came together. It nearly killed me working on it night and day. So it's good to see the finished product out.
Because it sounded like a very intense process that you still want to watch it. Like,
it was intense, but like it's awesome. Sometimes things are intense and you're not happy with the results, and that's very sad. this one was intense, and like I'm okay mentioning it here to people.
Yeah, but you're pleased with the result.
Yeah. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, I'm happy to show it off to Jessica, so we're watching that together. Yeah. So that's
that.
it. That's it for non-2024 stuff.
Awesome. All right, should we let's talk about box office first, maybe, just to put our heads in a space, and then we'll talk about what the patrons liked, and then we'll talk about our top 10s and honorable mentions for the year. Or in my case, unless I think of more, my top 3. All right, so do you want to do bombs or hits first?
Start with the bombs.
Okay.
Get it out of the way.
All right, so I looked at a couple of different sources, and they all had the lists in slightly different orders, because I think some of them are still kind of happening. Like Kraven the Hunter, no one's quite sure how bad of a bomb it is. Like, no one's really sure. But so these are maybe not in the exact right order. But yeah, so Joker, Folie à Deux had a budget of
Fuck that movie, dude.
200 million, and it made 200 million. But you know, as Mr. Sunday Movies always points out, like, you basically take the budget and double it for marketing. And Folie à Deux had a big marketing budget.
Feels like it's 75% now with marketing.
Maybe it depends on the
quite
movie.
double, yeah.
I think it varies movie to movie. Like, the higher the movie's budget, the more they spend on marketing.
Avengers shit, double it.
Right. Yeah. So like Joker, they probably doubled the budget to market it.
For sure.
Next up, Madam Web, similar 80 to 100 million budget.
Sony,
Box office was only 100.
How do you make such bad movies, Sony?
It is
over and over. How do you do this?
the
How does this
Spider-Man,
happen?
Sony Spider-Man in association with Marvel movies are like astonishingly
They're
bad.
astonishing.
And I can't remember. Did either of you mention watching it? Did you say that you watched
I haven't
it?
seen Craven. I saw Madam Web. I saw
Madam Web, and
Was
like,
it as bad as people say, or was it kind of
It is-
like interesting,
no,
like curiosity?
It's worse than like watching it. Like, any number of times someone explaining to you that like every line is ADR'd and there's no plot and nothing makes any sense. Like, you can conceptualize that in your head, but watching it, it's mind-boggling. Like, the fact that this movie made it out the door is
really bad.
fascinating. It is crazy.
I finally related, though, to people when they say movies are so bad they're good. I enjoyed watching how bad it was finally, and I never
That's something.
happened. I did
okay.
watch it at home. I was not in the theater. I would have.
Yeah, we watched
been
it at
pissed.
home, so we could like talk about. Like, for me, it was.
Were you just like laughing, like, why the fuck did that moment just happen?
Yeah, I was on my phone for some of it.
Yeah, you can't pay attention to it or you'll go insane. But like, it's funny because it's not so bad it's good in terms of like a Neil Breen movie or something, where it's like the choices are so inexplicable. You're just like, it's a comedy. But like, if you're knowledgeable about the filmmaking process at all, then Madam Web is fascinating, because you're like, okay, because you're like watching the editing and the ADR that they're doing, the automatic dialogue replacements. When like, you know, if you don't know what that means, it's when like someone is speaking a line, but their mouth is clearly not saying that. Like, that'll happen just on screen. Like, someone's mouth will just be visible. Like, usually you try to hide that sort of stuff in an edit. Like, you have the character talk off screen, which they do a lot of that too. But sometimes they'll just have someone fully on screen and their mouth is just saying something completely different. And it's like so obvious. And like, so the choices are just fascinating from a filmmaking perspective.
My favorite
you're like,
meme is when she has a Pepsi. She won't open, like, she's just like waving this Pepsi around. She like goes to open it and then like sets it down. It's the fucking bizarre.
but she just
Look it up.
won't. Yeah.
It is bizarre. It's my favorite meme. Everyone is like, open the fucking Pepsi, dude.
Just
Like,
open the Pepsi, dude.
it's so good.
Next up, little Costner, little passion project, Horizon American Saga Chapter 1, dude.
I saw it in the theater.
You're one of like the 8 people. It had a budget of 50 million, and the box office return was 38.2 million. So it definitely lost a lot more than that, if it was marketed at all. Next up, The Crow, budget 50 million, box office 24 million. This one is just crazy.
That looked like American Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard that one's really bad.
Yeah, I heard it was just not a good movie.
I love Skarsgård too.
I like Skarsgård. I mean, I love The Crow. Like, the original
Yeah.
Crow was like my personality as a teenager. And like, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Just like, because they have other sequels where it's the spirit of the Crow going into a different person, you know? So like, why didn't they just do that? Like, because having him be the Brendan Lee character again is just Brandon Lee character is just kind of weird. But
It is, yeah.
next up, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, budget 60 million, box office 27 million. This one, the trailer seemed cute, but then it felt like it came and went. Like, definitely one of those little, what's his name? Guy Ritchie-esque, like, I don't know if this is related to the what the hell is it called? The Kingsman universe. If it's like affiliated with that at all, it like kind of has that vibe. But yeah, I don't know. This one's a bit of a disappointment. The Robert Zemeckis experiment where the camera never moves, called Here.
Yeah.
Budget of somehow $50 million and it only made $13 million, which like that is more expensive than maybe this movie should have been. And like Sophia and I we put on the first like 10 or 15 minutes on the TV and the CG was bad. But it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Like to have a camera that's locked down from the dawn of time and like then eventually a house is built in this place and it's just a shot of this living room over the years and like you see the families change and come and go and stuff. And I'm like, that's an interesting concept for like a play.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, I don't know.
I bet Tom Hanks was like 25 of that 50 million.
Oh, I bet. Well, I mean, the cast is bonkers. It's Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Paul Bettany, I'm looking. There's just a huge list of names here. Those are the ones I recognize off the front. But like, yeah, there's just a lot of people in it. Next up, Fly Me to the Moon, budget 100 million somehow, and then 42 million returns.
I heard that was good too. That was a crowd pleaser. I heard. Yeah, that's with Scarlett and Channing, right?
Tatum. Yeah, it's the fake moon landing one.
I've heard that is a crowd pleaser. People liked it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Sunday Movies in their bombs video said that this movie seems like a fake movie, like a scam movie. And I was like, yeah, it kind of has that vibe.
There's a cool Russian novel called Omen Ra by Viktor Pelevin, I think is his name. Writes a lot of cool books. Maybe he writes some books about werewolves and stuff. Kind of similar deal, but from the Russian perspective about, I think, Russians faking moon landings.
Oh, okay.
I recommend checking that author out.
I love like when you come up with something like this, because like for the first half of the sentence I'm like, where the hell is this going?
Sorry, that's me on most podcasts.
No, I love
that's
it.
a danger of inviting me. And then I went to Ireland and blah 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 blah.
No, but it always
30 minutes later, can we talk about movies?
No, I love it. Unlike me, where I'll just start saying something that's not relevant. Okay, next up, Borderlands. 120 million, got 33 million. Just abysmal film. Ridiculous. Then Argyle, $200 million budget, got 96 million.
Jesus. God.
And then can you guess number one? I bet you
The
can
biggest
guess
bomb?
it. Yeah. Biggest bomb of 2024.
Craven.
Not on the list because I think it's still, the jury's still out. This one is definitive. We have the numbers. An auteur.
Megalopolis.
Oh yeah, that cost so much. How could it? Yeah, how could it make it back?
Budget 120 million to 136 million, and it got 13 million back.
Oh, only 13 million? With everyone talking
God.
about, like, yeah.
You would have thought it would have gotten more hate watches, yeah.
He funded a lot of that on his own.
On his own, yeah.
Jeez.
I watched it. We could talk about it now, I guess.
Yeah, you told us last time.
What a
heavily about
wacky
it.
movie. Oh, we talked about it last month? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That is a fucking crazy ass movie.
I wonder like how much
You were
the
in it for, like,
Brutalist
15
made
minutes.
Yeah, I was in
in
it for-
comparison.
What?
I wonder how much the Brutalist made in comparison, because that's like a kind of. I hear the themes are
Sort
similar.
of.
I saw the Brutalist, but I did not see Megalopolis, so I don't have a compare and contrast. But I've heard that there are some similar feelings and
he's
similar lengths. Yeah.
He's kind of an architect.
Yeah.
Like that's
The beauty
maybe
of the
where it
Brutalist
stops.
is the budget was only like $9 million.
Oh wow.
Right.
Only 9 million.
That's
I
crazy.
cannot believe that.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. Holy shit, Hubert. Did you watch The Brutalist?
No, it's barely playing around here, so
Yeah.
I gotta wait.
Oh my god, when you see this movie,
So
and
hyped.
the
It's my number one
budget
hype.
is 9 million?
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
the
God.
it's the only movie that's like interested me in the theaters for like
I almost
months.
want to like put it on my top 10 list just for that. Just for
Sick.
it being 9 million. I mean, it's a great movie, but like 9
Movies don't
million?
have to cost as much as they do. Like
my
these movies with $200 million budgets. I'm like, calm down, guys.
It looks double that at
Fucking
least.
Disney, what are you doing?
I want to figure out how he did that. I need to read some interviews. Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, the top winners of the year. Do you want? We'll start at 10.
Yeah.
All right, so Beetlejuice.
They're all
Beetlejuice.
winners in my heart for
Yeah.
making movies.
Yeah,
I'm a sentimentalist.
Juice.
Beetlejuice, dude, 10. That's pretty surprising.
Oh, good for them.
Whoa.
You didn't
You're
like
like,
it?
no,
I thought it
thank
was
you.
fine. I thought it was fine.
Fucking Beetlejuice and Ghostbusters. I don't want to talk
Beetlejuice
about it.
was cute. It was
It's
cute.
fine. It's fine.
Made 451 million on a. I don't have the budgets here, but
Oh.
this is a worldwide. Yeah. Then number 9 is Venom: The Last Dance, which is a bummer. That's crazy.
Good for Tom.
Yeah,
Good for
he
Tom.
seems to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 4 was 8th. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire is 7th.
What?
Yeah, those movies chug along, dude.
What
That and
the
Apes, dude.
Fuck?
Apes is 13th. Those movies just like quietly win. Everyone loves Godzilla and Apes.
Wait, Apes was this year?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was this year. Yeah.
That was
got-
this year?
397 million worldwide gross, 13th.
Dude, that's in my
Mm.
top 3 then. What the
It was a
fuck?
fun ass movie. Yeah, I liked it.
Dude,
Oh, wait,
what?
no, I haven't seen that one. I need to see it.
Oh.
I saw War of the Planet of the Apes preparing to see this one.
Yeah, nice.
Wicked was number 6, but that's still in theaters, so it might keep climbing. 648 million.
Before you get to the top 5, I did read in the LA Times that the box office in the first half of the year was down like
Yeah.
37%.
It's like it was a pretty bad year.
It was,
Yeah.
but then in the last half, they cut that number to like 3%.
Oh wow.
It was like a 3% drop on the box office from last year, which is like everyone
good.
was like, "Dude, we made it through."
Yeah.
Just in the last month, I saw so many movies
6
myself.
months,
like,
built it up,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just rammed through them. I was just like, movies.
All right. Top 5. Dune Part 2, baby.
IMAX.
Kind of a surprise on this one. $700 million.
That's great. That's great.
One got everyone so hyped.
Say what you want about it. Like it's a smart movie compared to a lot of movies out there.
Oh,
You know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it's this high. Also, like the first one was kind of during the pandemic, kind of went to streaming, but it's good that this one made it so high. Next up, Moana 2, no surprise there. 900
Moana 2
million.
looks good. Moana 2 looks good. I watched it with my niece, and everybody was disappointed by the songs. They were like, "These songs suck shit." They didn't say that because
kids.
they
these
didn't say that because they're like a wonderful, sweet family. And my niece, of course, did not say that because she's like young and adorable and the sweetest creature on the planet. But they, if you translate it to adult language, that's what they said. But it looked good. It looked really good. Like the graphics were incredible. Like I don't think I've seen on screen things that look like that besides Avatar.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's what my brother was saying too. He was like,
Evoking the word.
yeah. Like, it just looks incredible.
Yeah, you be careful with the A word around here.
Yeah, careful with the A
She
word.
will spin out for a half an hour. Third is Despicable Me 4. The Minions just do not miss. Almost hit a cool bill, dude. $969 million.
You can't fuck with the kids' movies, dude.
Yeah. Do you know what the top two are? Want to guess at number 2?
Hit me with it.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
$1.3 billion.
Get it.
I'm
saw it 3
surprised I
times.
saw that.
I saw it 3
That's
times
fun.
in the theater.
I'm such a snob, and I saw like number 2. Good for me.
Hell yeah.
For you.
Man of the people.
Man of the people. Do you want to hazard a guess at number 1?
The Substance.
No. No shot. Where is the Substance on here? The Substance is 45th. 77 million worldwide.
Wow, that's not too bad. 45.
Yeah.
I have no
Long
idea what
Legs
number
was 32nd with 126 million. It's
No
funny
clue.
that some of the
Undeserved.
bombs
Long
are
Legs.
fairly high on the list. Like Joker's 22, and it was one of the bombs based on its budget.
It's the ratio. It got ratioed.
It got ratioed.
Joker's got ratioed.
Holy
What's the-
shit.
what's-
Holy
So
shit.
you said-
Ghostbusters domestic 58 million. Foreign was 148 million.
Good.
That's crazy. No one in America went to see that movie.
Good. That's music to my ears.
Was
I'm
it-
so glad.
What did you say? Number 1 yet? Or
Haven't
it was
said it.
okay?
It's a kids movie. Do you want to guess it?
Baby Girl.
Can't even, it's not
Nicole
the Wild
Kidman.
Robot.
It's Inside Out
was.
too.
Inside Out too.
Of course.
One
of
point,
course.
almost $1.7 million. $1.698 million.
On that note, will y'all excuse me
Billion.
while I take headache powder? I can't speak while I take it. So
Yeah. Headache powder.
Legit.
All right, moving on to the patrons' favorites of the year. I asked everybody what their favorite film of 2024 is and what their favorite show of 2024 is, and then just anything else. If you want to be in on the discussion and get in on our film club Discord, $3 a month, patreon.com/reaction shots. We've got one tier. We don't care about money. We care about you, the viewer. But the money doesn't hurt. Tell your friends.
It does not hurt. Thank you. I'm so grateful.
Yeah,
I
we're
truly
happy-
am, and I appreciate the conversation. I'm in those the Discord all the
It's
time.
a fun ass Discord, yeah. I don't post much, but I read it. Matthew D says, my highest rated movies of 2024 are I Saw the TV Glow, Love Lies Bleeding, Inside Out, and Nosferatu. I think what all of those films share is the idea of feeling like you don't quite fit in, but finding a person or persons that let you be your true self. It's a struggle and not always a successful one. Anxiety, fear, and depression enable so many poor decisions, but you can find solace in when relating to others who understand. It's a resonant theme for all time.
Is Nosferatu the one trying to fit in Nosferatu?
I mean, I get for a second I was like, how does that fit in with Nosferatu? But I guess it's like Nick Holt accepting his wife being a maniac.
God, I
Nick
love
Holt.
Bill Skarsgård.
Nick Holt. Yeah.
Skarsgård fanatic.
Dude, all right.
What is it? A Zaniac? What could Skarsgård be? Dude, because that's what I am.
Nick Holt is all over the place right now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like him.
Finally.
Yeah,
20
he's
years.
great.
Fucking took 20 goddamn years. Let's fucking go, Nick Holt.
Yeah, I like
he's
him
good.
too. He's so cute, and he's the one in The Great, the show I'm watching about Peter the Great and Catherine the Great. He's so funny in that. He's terrible because Peter the Great's a maniac and a terrible person, but he's the comic relief. So funny. He's so good in it.
Okay, so without spoiling Nosferatu, even though it's a 90-year-old,
Tales as old as time.
several-year-old, 100-year-old story, because Huber hasn't seen it.
I saw it
Right.
last night.
Oh, you saw it last night? Holy shit!
I made sure to see it.
All right.
But he
Did-
saw Queer Nosferatu.
Yes.
He didn't see the same one we
Oh,
did.
I would have. Queer Nosferatu would have made it so bad. What did you think?
I saw
bet
it-
you loved it.
I saw it at 10:45 at night in a theater with 3 other people total. And when I walked in, there was a thick cloud or a thick fog cover
Yeah.
outside.
It was
the night
foggy as shit last night.
So it was like the perfect setup.
Oh, nice.
I liked it, but I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, you know, when you watch a movie and you're just fully fucking absorbed and you're fully in it,
Yeah.
and you're just so caught up in the emotion, you're not thinking about anything else. When I was watching it, like 90% of the time I was an observer.
Yeah.
I was an observer of the movie. I was not in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like pretty disappointed with Nosferatu. I was like bored for most of it, which is kind of rough. And like maybe it's because, you know, I've read Dracula, I've seen Bram Stoker's Dracula, I've seen multiple versions of Nosferatu, which is you know, they wanted to make Dracula in the 20s and Bram Stoker was like, no, or his wife or whoever. And so they just made a legally distinct Dracula. And that's why Nosferatu's plot is basically just the book of Dracula.
Same thing.
But like, you know, like obviously they changed some stuff, but also I thought they didn't, like, I left with the feeling of why do this? Why did
Well, it
you
was
do
his
this?
passion forever.
Which is cool, but
this
like,
is a
why
man
just
that-
remake a movie that's been remade 6 times already?
Because it's his favorite shit of all time, and it's literally his life's mission was to do this movie. He talked about it all the way back during The Witch, where he was like, if I can get an opportunity to make any movie, it's Nosferatu. That's my favorite thing of all time. Like, cool.
I guess I'm happy for him then. But like,
cool.
but like it, I don't know. It didn't really grab me.
He matched its freak. Yeah.
I matched its freak.
No, he matched the original Nosferatu's freak. He wanted to. That was his goal.
I thought Nosferatu looked silly. I don't know.
Dude, Skarsgård. I love.
I thought he looked so silly. I was like, okay, it's just like a guy from a 70s porno. Like
Was
there
I
he is.
wrong? Last month it was horny, right? It was very horny.
It was horny, but like
Weird
not
horny.
fun horny. Like
No, exactly.
Bram Stoker's Dracula by
Yeah.
Coppola, which I think is a vastly superior film,
Love that
is
movie.
fun horny. And it's like absurdly horny, but
I
it's
think
also
that might
just
be
like,
Coppola's best movie. I mean, screw
I mean,
The
I
Godfather.
love-
That might be.
I love the conversation. I love the conversation.
Yeah,
And Apocalypse
that's your
Now.
favorite. Yeah.
I just got the new 4K restoration of the conversation. It came with the soundtrack on a cassette tape. So I was listening to the cassette
Oh, that's
tape the other day.
cool. That's cool. That's pretty awesome.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm
You should have
excited.
put it on like a little reel.
Yeah. Comes with
When's the
the
last
real
time you
reel.
watched The Godfather, Matthew, all the way through, start to finish?
You know, I was late to The Godfather, which was that's cool to come to The Godfather late as like a older appreciator of film.
An adult.
And it was awesome, and especially the first 20 minutes, the whole wedding, like that wedding, I was like, I get
Good
it.
scene.
I get it. Yeah.
Godfather's
And
nuts.
the choice, obviously, you know, I'm not gonna talk about it, but there's some choices, you know, some characters that to make. Yeah. Cool movie. Very cool.
Hell yeah.
But, you know, I'm so into vampires. I have a vampire fang tattoo. Like, I'm into vampires.
I did like how he was like munching on, like, where was the neck munching? You
Yeah, it was
know?
all
Yeah,
titty
yeah.
munching, dude. It was
Titty
all,
ch-
Yeah.
it was all like sternum munching, which is like the
Yeah.
worst place to try to bite
I
someone.
guess the
It's
heart
kinda
there,
weird.
it's like
Also, you
stuck
don't
on
see his
that.
fangs at all. It's crazy. This is an insane.
I
movie.
mean, I have like a signed copy of Symphony of the Night
Dude.
from
Oh my God.
Igarashi.
Fuck,
and
holy
the
shit.
artist was so inspired. She, who did like all the character portraits from Coppola's, Bram Stoker's Dracula. So like, you know, that to me, that's going to be like, and I wrote this long article, about the history of Symphony of the Night for, Rolling Stone. So like, that's going to be my thing. Like, that's going to be my Coppola
Yeah.
movie. Everybody's got their favorite, but Godfather is good. You're not
Symphony of the
gonna
Night,
get
I
any
love
argument from me. Godfather's a good ass movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But God, that's awesome. You should have that graded, that
Yeah.
autograph thing by send it into my friend Claire's company, PSA,
Yeah.
whatever. They'll grade it. Tell you how much.
No,
it's
nobody's
worth.
gonna touch it. Nobody's gonna get away from me. Don't touch it. It's
grubby little
mine.
mitts.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna try to get it. I'm gonna do the like horny dance from Nosferatu. Don't touch it.
She doth flail and moan.
Yeah.
What did you think of Nosferatu, Matt?
Well, I talked about it last month, and I was like, "It's good." I mean, Defoe's great. Like, I was, it's funny. I didn't get Willem Dafoe before it. Everybody was like, "He's awesome. He's funny." And then I saw Sunshine State, this Sean Baker movie, and I have like so many Florida connections, and now I live in Florida, and now I look like someone from Florida. I look like an NPC from Florida. And like, Willem Dafoe just killed in that movie. He killed. So heartbreaking. He opened his heart in that movie.
Yeah.
And now
he was
I get
the emotion of it. He was the only emotion of the movie I felt.
In Nosferatu?
Yeah.
No, and
Nosferatu for me too, though.
In Sunshine State, and now anytime I see Willem Dafoe, I'm like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
I love him now.
I love Willem Dafoe in
I
just
love
about
him
everything.
now in anything because I get him. Like I get where he's coming from, and so I like Nosferatu just because he was in it. He was so fun in it. Anytime he showed up, he was being hilarious and funny, and so that added a lot to me in that movie. And so I'm like, that movie was all right. It was kind of goofy and dumb in a lot of places, but he added enough where I was like, cool movie.
It was
about
funny.
it.
It was funny to me because the performances seemed pretty inconsistent. Where it was like it felt like people were in different movies. Like they were doing like, especially Aaron Taylor Johnson or whatever. Like
Strange performance from him. I'm a big
his
fan.
performance was so weird,
Yeah.
and like usually he's a good actor, and
Yeah,
so
I
it
love
like
him.
felt like he was being directed to do like a certain kind of affect, like a kind of like heightened performance.
Some theater 1800s.
Yeah, and I was
Do
like,
not leave the parlor.
yeah, and like Lily Rose Depp like sometimes was in the same movie as him, and sometimes was in a completely different movie. Like her monologue on the beach was just awful. I was like, what's going on?
Anytime she monologued, I was like, oh, monologue.
Yeah,
Eggers is inconsistent with actors.
yeah.
He really is. He can
directs
draw a
each of them
cool
differently.
performance out of them, but like it's not consistent across the board. I don't think he's nailed that yet. When he does,
so
he's going to
weird.
have like an incredible movie in him, but I don't think he's gotten there yet.
But I think The Witch is consistent. Like all the performances in that
his best
match each other. Oh, The Witch
In
is
the
easily
Lighthouse.
his best movie. I like
this
The
is
Witch.
sick.
I think
Witch
his
is
movies
great.
have.
The
I
Witch
think
is
each of
great,
his
but-
movies has gotten worse than the last.
Yeah, I was not a Northman guy at all. In fact, that was one of the biggest disappointments like of my life. I was
haven't
so
seen
bummed
that
I
one,
didn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
it. Yeah,
The
I was so
cinematography
bummed.
of The Northman, I think, is excellent, and in Nosferatu, But like, I expected Nosferatu to do even like more camera trickery, like weird shit. And I know there's a lot in there, but like, I don't know. It just was a miss for
Yeah.
me. I was just not into
Yeah,
it.
it was almost there for me. It was
Yeah.
close. It was so close.
Yeah.
It was like 1 minute I was like, wonder what this would have been like in Guillermo's hands.
Yeah.
Maybe a little
Or
more
in
emotion.
Werner Herzog's
Guillermo,
hands.
because
Or
Guillermo,
Herzog does such a good job. Herzog's so good. It was an elegant Herzog movie, and Herzog isn't usually elegant, but it was elegant. It was.
And his is just a shot for shot, which is also like, why did you do this? To unleash 11 billion rats onto a small village.
yeah.
Anyway, not to just sit here and dunk on Nosferatu.
no, it was okay. Like we're not even dunking. It was just an okay movie.
Yeah. I mean, to flip it though, like we've talked about it in the past, but the two of the other movies on this list that Matthew D said are two of my favorites of the year is I Saw the TV Glow and Love Lies Bleeding. Like both of those I just thought
Those are good. Those are
pretty
good.
great.
Yeah.
Like I Saw the TV Glow, like the more I think about it, the more I think it's like maybe my favorite of the year.
Yeah.
Like
Whoa,
it's
high up there.
crazy. Like, and not
That's
just
high up
because
there.
of personal resonance that it has for sure, but like, yeah, woof, that's a crazy movie.
Jane did it. Yeah. I think about
Yeah.
that like weekly. Yeah. Since
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Hallinan says, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope I'm not too late with my submission. You're not. Up until last week, my favorite film of 2024 was Challengers, an incredibly fun romp with a great soundtrack by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, which is nearly as good as the soundtrack for The Social Network, which I consider to be a masterpiece. But then last week I saw Anora, a film I'd been hearing a lot of buzz about all year, and it easily met, if not surpassed, my expectations. I'm reluctant to give away any details as I feel it's best to go in blind, but I'd say that the hype is real and it deserves all the Best Picture speculation. And then they go on about TV, so we'll pause here.
Love both those movies.
I haven't seen either of these, actually.
I love
These are
both those movies.
I haven't seen them yet.
I'm so glad they mentioned them because they're in my honorable mentions, and it broke my heart not to put them on my list. So I'm so glad they mentioned them. Challengers is fucking great. Fucking fun. It's a fun movie.
Challengers is good. I watched that, actually, yeah.
And I'm glad, like, they're putting, like... because I'm a dirty old man. I'm glad they're putting sex in movies again. Like, and, like, not in just, like, sexy ways, not in just like perverted, like I need to see sex, but like in heartbreaking, complicated ways, in ways
related sex.
Yeah, complicated ways that say stuff about the human condition, that say stuff about relationships, that say stuff about like, oh, relationships are going great, oh, relationships are going poorly, oh, relationships are at like a midpoint, like that communicate things that you can only communicate by showing certain things in movies. And like it's cool that it's back. You don't need a lot of it, but sometimes you need some. Sometimes movies need none. Sometimes a movie doesn't need any, you know, but Challengers and Anora needed some, and it's in there, and they're cool movies because of it. Yeah, go see them. They're good movies.
It's funny because, like, you know, out of film school, I was like, yeah, I probably won't, like, do nudity in a movie I make, you know, like, or write anything, you know, and then I wrote a body swapping movie that has like so much nudity in it, and it's just like, but it's all kind of just like incidental. Like,
yeah, it's so well done. That's a
thanks.
fantastic movie. It's a genius movie. Yeah,
I hope we get to make it.
Yeah.
I'd
You
like to
you
make
will, you will, and
Yeah, I
people
hope
get to
so.
see it, and it falls in that category for sure. Yeah.
wouldn't be that expensive, hopefully. Maybe this year I'll try to get it rolling.
2025. It's a brilliant movie. Anyone listening, it deserves to get made. Absolutely.
Well, you're very complimentary about that movie. Thank you. Mark continues about TV. I'm continuing to enjoy From and Silo, as well as Interview with the Vampire, which is fast becoming the best show on TV everyone seems to be sleeping on. Interview with the Vampire is incredible. Was that this year?
Yeah.
No.
Season 2?
Yeah. Season 2 was.
Season 2 was this year?
Yep. Yep,
Yeah, I
season
mean,
2 came
that's
out this year.
pretty easily maybe the best show of the year.
Oh God.
From and Silo are both similar to me, where I love them to pieces, but I'm like, they're such slow burns.
This
But I
season
love
is
them.
hard to talk about because of spoilers. Season 2. Season 2 is just filled with spoilers of
Vampire?
Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But who is the younger character who they turned last season? The young girl, Claudia. Yeah. Claudia
They recast. They had to
continues to be. Yeah.
They
I
had
don't
to
know why they had to
recast.
recast.
Because the season 1 actor is in Avatar 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that probably
2
took up
and
a lot
3.
of time.
2 and 3. That's an interesting, like, Sophia and I were talking about this, where it's like the arithmetic of that mentally for that actor. It's interesting because it's like, is ditching a leading role where your face is visible for a well-paying CG cartoon nightmare where no one's going to realize it's you a good career move?
1 billion%, because Avatar makes $3 billion.
Yeah,
and
get
it's more
that
about,
money.
You might get a
behind-the-scenes
good
connections.
paycheck. You might get a good paycheck, but yeah, hopefully you get you would
that
have
on
to
your
get
resume,
jobs
though?
from industry connections.
Yeah.
Get that
Because
money.
like Interview with the Vampire is like pretty niche.
Pretty niche, yeah.
Pretty small.
Pretty niche.
Get that money, go make your own art. Get that money while the money's there.
Yeah. Mark's standout TV moments from the year come from the limited documentary series Ren Fair and Chimp Crazy, 2 docs that shine a light on 2 very strange communities without being judgmental to either and showing a good deal of empathy for its subjects. Highly recommend.
Gabby was hyping up Chimp Crazy heavily.
I heard some buzz about it. It felt too much like going back in time to Tiger King or whatever, and I was like, I can't. It feels like COVID. I don't want to do it. Codalito says, my favorite movies of the year is Rebel Moon, the director's cut. I can see Isla making a disgusted face as I write this, but here we go. No judgment.
I watched both of the original versions, and it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, I haven't seen the director's cuts.
Same.
Maybe those have plot and characters. I grew up reading the pulp sci-fi of the 80s and 90s from publishers like 2000 AD, Heavy Metal, Dark Horse, and DC Vertigo. It does feel like that. You know, the really dumb, over-the-top, bombastic, and fantastical stuff. I don't know about the PG cut of Rebel Moon since I didn't bother to watch it, but I can only imagine that it is dull and incoherent mess since 87% of the entertainment value of those two movies comes from the unapologetic ultra-violence and steamy sex scenes. I mean, yeah, the Rebel Moon felt like it was missing like almost everything about it. People's limbs explode in chunky mists of gore at every hit from a gun. The trademark action shots of Zack Snyder really push the limits of how much slow-mo a human mind can take. And there is a scene where the main bad guy, I don't know his name, don't care, has sex with a tentacle alien and then proceeds to post-coital smoke by stabbing some sort of water pipe through the side of his chest directly into his lung. Yeah, in the PG or whatever cut, PG-13 cut, it's just him doing the smoking in the side of his body, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Did I care or cry during the emotional drama scenes like Zach wanted me to? Hell no, but I was clapping and smiling with glee at almost everything else. Snyder's vision here reeks of influences from the likes of Pat Mills, Glenn Fabry, and Jeff Darrow, and I just have to applaud the sheer audacity it took to pull this off. I get it. Movie that should have dared to stand more on its own, Alien Romulus. I agree. Favorite horror, Late Night with the Devil. Favorite TV show, Shogun. Best anime, Kaiju number 8, Dan Da Don. The Shangri-La Frontier Season 2. Favorite final season, What We Do in the Shadows. Ooh, hard disagree. Movie that we should have been a miniseries, Salem's Lot. Classic anime of the month, Cobra the Animation. Went back to finish out the last 13 episodes of this 2008 miniseries. Have already praised Space Adventure Cobra though, so I'll just say this: if you like old school space anime, this is a must. Hope everyone has a great New Year, dude.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thank you. The last 2 seasons of What We Do in the Shadows, it feels like everyone on the writing staff got replaced with fan fiction writers. All the characters are just like caricatures of themselves. It's kind of crazy.
That happens a lot in comedies. Like, it feels like people move on to other shows and writers come on, but they either are confined or nervous, too beholden to original seasons and like, oh, I don't want to screw this up. Or, showrunners are like, you must do it in this mold. Here's the character Bible. Here's how we do things.
Yeah. I mean, maybe What We Do in the Shadows really sticks the series finale, because I haven't watched the last couple episodes, but the first 6 or 7, I was like, ugh. Although making a character becomes kind of a corporate vampire, which is kind of funny. That's funny on a conceptual level. Garrett Hullfish, one of my favorite movies of 2024 and that I want more people to see is Thelma. This is a great action movie parody loosely based on the director-writer's real-life grandmother.
Motorcycle Old Lady, right?
The Motorcycle Old Lady, not the incredible sapphic Norwegian supernatural film, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Also a great movie.
Also
so good.
Thelma.
So good. I love that movie.
Yeah.
See that one too.
That Thelma, though, heads up, though, it's very flashy, so if you are susceptible to that, do not watch Thelma. The Norwegian one. Thelma gets scammed out of her money and focuses on getting it back. I don't want to spoil any of the best moments here, but expect to see your favorite tropes recreated with the limited mobility of the elderly. It does sound fun. I need to see that one. One of my favorite shows of 2024 is the second season of We Are Lady Parts. I only started the show this year, and it quickly became one of my favorites, perfectly balancing humor and heart, as it tells the story of an all-female Muslim punk band. I didn't know I liked punk, but now I listen to the soundtrack on repeat. Also, shout out Skeleton Crew. I know Isla's been disappointed by new Star Wars, but I absolutely love the Goonies and space vibes. Yeah, I need to watch this one.
Yeah, weird lady parts. Yeah, like, didn't know you liked punk. Well, what a way to get into it. Like, there you go.
I've heard the show's
like, all
great.
female Muslim punk band. And, like, I mean, it has a built-in punk conflict where, you know, any religious community, not just a Muslim community, but any religious community has, like, its own conflict and tension, and these women are trying to make music and just come up against the tension of their group and family and world, and it's so fucking amazing. It's so cool. And if you played in bands, you'll relate to it, or tried to make music, you'll relate to it. Or if you grew up, if you were a teenager or a young person in your 20s, you'll relate to it. Like, oh, it's so good. I love that show. Love that show. Great recommendation.
I need to watch it. It's also come up on a lot of best queer stuff of the year lists, which I need to see. Yeah. Gruntolite. My favorite film of the year is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It's pure heart pick. My own childhood nostalgia has not, and probably will never again, be so well catered to. It's also so nice to see a film series only get better with each entry. I really liked Sonic 2. I think that's the only one I've seen.
I'm so mad I haven't seen 3.
Sonic 3 is better than Sonic 2.
Fuck.
I've heard it's really good.
Let me
Yeah,
just go after this.
It's good.
I want to see it. Yeah, I want to see it.
Go do it. It's a good movie.
I need to go. I need to see it.
They also say total left turn from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Heretic is also a highlight for me.
Double feature.
Double feature, dude. I liked Heretic. I think that the ads sold it wrong, but I liked the performances and the vibes of it a lot.
Mm-hmm. This is the Hugh Grant one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The puzzle one, kind of like.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Did you see it?
I did not, but I heard you and Hubert talk about it.
The trailers. Don't watch the trailers. The trailers make it seem like it's going to be a puzzle house, when really it's a discussion about religion, which is also good but very different. And an awesome and sad experience was to see Furiosa alone in an empty Dolby Cinema theater. Wow. Dune Part 2 and Nosferatu were similar for me in that they are 10 out of 10 no notes, yet being a fan of the source material and the directors, it set obscene expectations that could never really be matched. Yeah, my expectations were high for both Dune and Nosferatu.
Big same.
And Furiosa. And all three kind of came in under the bar, I think.
No one saw the no one did the motorcycle seats. That's the problem. Got to do the motorcycle seats for Furiosa. That's why I had such a great experience.
Definitely one of the best scenes of the year.
In
Which one? Which scene?
Furiosa chase, the main chase.
The
camera up and down and around, and
I gotta rewatch it. Yeah.
The part was crazy. Holy shit.
And great editing. I thought the editing was great. I mean, it's nothing like Fury Road, but like methodical editing, which is different.
I appreciate, I want to watch it again to give it another shot, because my first, literally first blush coming out of that theater, I was really disappointed for Furiosa, and I was like, I want to re-edit this movie. But I wonder if I watched it again now with some time passed and the expectations are not so through the roof, if I would give it a better.
The scene editing is great. Maybe story wise, it could be concentrated, but scene by scene, the editing is good. Yeah,
I had no problem with that. It was the overall,
I like Tom Burke, cool actor.
Yeah. Which one's
he's
he?
Good. The Mel Gibson-esque one.
Oh, right? He's great in it. Yeah.
Love Tom.
Jason Wojnar says, what's your favorite film from 24? I think that the 24 film that gave me the warmest feelings was the documentary Matchless World of Beauty. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the Ukrainian name here. Nizrevieni Svitskratki? I did attempt it.
That's a great attempt, yeah.
I have no idea.
Let us know, but thanks for trying.
A+ attempt.
About the Ukrainian singer Nazrai Yaramchuk. They gave me a pronunciation guide of that, and I probably still botched it. There are already a few documentaries about the 60s and 70s pop music in Ukraine. However, by focusing on one person, it manages to paint a more detailed and informative picture about that era, including the restrictions and censorship laws artists had to work within or around. The dean of my university, who was also one of my teachers, is featured heavily in interviews since they were both friends, and he wrote several of Yaremchuk's hits, which I won't name because I'm sure you're all familiar with them. That sounds interesting. I love the interesting different picks that Jason and Zach bring to the show. What's your favorite show from 2024? I barely watched anything from 2024, but Creature Commandos so far is great. Yeah. The first episode is average, but it only goes uphill from there. Yeah. The music selection is jaw-droppingly bonkers, and it feels like it was done just for me. Yeah, it's like Gogo Bordello and stuff. It's like kind of wild. Right? One episode even features the World/Inferno Friendship Society, the American band that has had by far the biggest impact on my life. The song in question is I Wouldn't Want to Live in a World Without Grudges from Just the Best Party. It is without question the best rock album of the 21st century. And then under anything else.
Oh, yeah, they left this little clip and I think in the Discord or something.
Oh, really?
I wanted to listen to this song. Yeah, thanks for leaving this clip. It was a cool link. Yeah, everyone else, if possible, who's in the Discord should check it out. Yeah.
The music in Creature Commandos is really fun. It's like very bombastic. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's that kind of like not punk but not rock, sort of just like bombastic kind of fun music. Anything else? The Kyiv Independent, one of the largest English language journalism outlets in Ukraine, releases feature-length documentaries every 3 to 6 months, which are free on YouTube but also have theatrical premieres in Kyiv. I went to 2 this year. The first was Shadows Across the River, a documentary about civilians who were kidnapped, tortured, and murdered in a village on Russian-occupied territories. The second, Can You Hear Me, follows a group of combat medics who get to go to Switzerland for a retreat from the psychological stress of their duties. Wow. Both premieres had people who were interviewed in attendance, making them especially powerful experiences. The second is particularly effective because it lets all the soldiers' personalities shine through, giving them a humanity and a lot of documentaries on the subject, even ones that are about bravery and resilience, don't show. Some are funny, some are awkward on camera, and some are wise from years of experience. It juxtaposes this with footage of them out on the field and moments of vulnerability in interviews as a reminder that the heroes defending their country are normal people who would otherwise be living normal lives like you and me. It also reminds us of the psychological scars underneath the candid smiles and laughs. Wow. That sounds
Did they bring
powerful.
this up earlier in the year?
I think they've mentioned one of them before, yeah.
Yeah, I remember this. So yeah, it sounded so intense. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah.
Zach Wojnar, my favorite movies this year were Sing Sing, which I mentioned in a different episode. I still need to see that. And A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic. It only takes a few minutes for Timothée Chalamet to completely transform into Bob Dylan. The moment he started singing the film's first song, Song to Woody, I just broke out into tears. He's that good. Wow.
I actually think it's Timothy.
Timothy? From the depiction of the 60s New York to the way it articulates the true power of music, the movie captures Bob Dylan in a way that simply hasn't been achieved before. For TV, even though it's not done yet, I think Creature Commandos is already a masterpiece. That James Gunn fellow can do no wrong in my book. Can't wait to see his take on Superman this summer.
Oh yeah, that Superman trailer that blew me away. Did you like that? Yeah.
Coming up.
I thought it was okay. Like, I liked the use of the classic theme.
It felt like the original Superman movies to me. Like, it felt like a throwback.
Yeah, it does have that classic vibe.
I only saw some clips. I don't watch trailers.
Yeah. I hope the movie has that classic vibe. I think that would be a good play. Carl Williams, best movie of 2024, The Substance. Oh, I know it's been talked about enough, but I will say that it just scratched my itch of being incredibly weird, that I wasn't too bothered by it being too on the nose, and the scene with the copious amount of blood at the end was fucking hilarious. I do love a lot of blood.
That's actually the only part of that movie I didn't like.
Oh, really? That's another of almost every horror movie from 24 that, I don't know, maybe just got overhyped for me because I watched it and I was like, yeah, okay.
To me more, though.
Oh, the
Give her the
performances
Oscar.
were
Give her the
stunning.
Oscar,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no,
Like,
she did amazing.
Rooting for her.
Amazing.
Never mind. Yeah. Shit.
Margaret Qualley did a great job. Yeah, everybody. Dennis Quaid was just playing himself because he's apparently kind of a monster, but whatever. Carl Williams' biggest surprise of 2024. I liked Megalopolis. Why did I like this movie? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm glad to have finally seen it. Francis, for the love of God, stay retired. It was definitely not boring. Like, definitely one of those, it's not so bad it's good, but it's so weird it's good. Like, inexplicable, like, insanity movie. Their biggest disappointment of 2024 was Gladiator 2. Just show a gif of Commodus giving the thumbs down from the first movie, and that basically sums up my feelings on this movie. The music is inferior, the acting and characters are inferior, Denzel doing the heavy lifting isn't enough, hardly any memorable dialogue, which isn't a shock to me since the person who did the screenplay also did the screenplay for Napoleon, which sucked, by the way. Decent action. The action with the CG baboons was awful, and the reveal of Lucius's father, which I refuse to accept as canon, and the last 15 minutes are just terrible. If there's any consolation in this movie, it's knowing that actor Derek Jacobi is still alive. I do like him.
It was good.
Even though his character did jack squat in this movie too, I'm really glad I got to rewatch the first movie so soon after seeing this mess. I pray they never do a third movie.
Dude, they reference like
Hardcore.
there's subtext. Like, it's canon. There's subtext in the first one that
Don't
her
spoil it. I haven't seen it.
like there's some lines where it's like you can
Oh,
put it together.
I mean, if it is who I think you're talking about, yeah,
It's the whole plot of the movie. It's not even a spoiler.
of Gladiator 1 or 2.
Number 2.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there were some vibes, yeah, in the first movie.
Yeah. Gladiator 2 is really good, but anytime that movie tried to be emotional, it wasn't.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like this.
you got to set things up to have emotions pay off for sure.
Yeah. There were no emotions, but I enjoyed the scope of it all.
Emotions are for babies anyway. Fede Krauch.
Hey.
The best movie of 2024 for me has got to be Dune Part 2 because it's the closest we have gotten to Lord of the Rings. Honorable mention goes to Alien Romulus, Wicked, Gladiator 2, Society of the Snow, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Civil War, Furiosa, Transformers 1, and The Wild Robot. My favorite movie, though, has got to be Sonic 3 because it is as close to a DBZ movie we will get this decade. My favorite show of the year, probably unsurprising to you, is My Hero Academia. Now that we are so close to the end, I dare say this might be the best superhero story of the last decade, if not one of the best of all time.
I'm really glad somebody finally said The Wild Robot.
Yeah, I've heard that's
Finally.
really good.
Finally.
Something else, since Huber mentioned it last episode, it's funny how the Star Wars prequel trilogy, in which politicians engineer conflicts to acquire more power to install an authoritarian government, and the sequel trilogy, in which an ideology thought to be defeated makes a comeback in the present and starts installing an authoritarian government, were both criticized for their plots. Isn't that interesting? Also, Huber, don't listen to Kyle. Don't drop Vinland Saga. You can watch Dayama, just don't drop Vinland.
Got it.
Don't know what you're talking
Some good
about.
It's
advice.
a Viking anime.
Oh, okay. And they got back to corrections for this month's corrections. You probably don't have to do a bigger Digimon and Pokemon fan, or you probably don't have a bigger Digimon and Pokemon fan on this channel, so allow me to write some. As franchises, Digimon and Pokemon kind of go for the same demographic. You know that Pokemon started with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Digimon started similarly with V-Pets. Basically, Tamagotchi that you could raise to battle other Tamagotchis. However, for some reason, when Digimon got an anime adaptation, they decided to go hard on some dark themes. So it's the anime that is darker than Pokemon. There are other Digimon anime much similar in tone to Pokemon, so it's not the whole franchise that's like that. I remember vaguely talking about Digimon, but I don't remember what we said.
Comparing them, yeah.
This is for Gabby. I know she's not on the show, but on the but the podcast has no corrections anymore, and this is related to reaction shots. Arcane Season 2 has been a massive hit for Netflix, staying 5 weeks and counting among top 10 most watched shows globally. Happy holidays to Al. Yeah, that was during our reactions at Easy Allies to the Game Awards. I really don't know why she went off on that. It was kind of interesting, but whatever. Arcane, I think, was not a great hit for me narratively, but I really enjoyed it, and like it's a beautiful looking show, and the romance was one of my favorite of the year. So, Paul Rogers, my favorite films of 24 have been Mad Max Furiosa, Wicked, and Conclave. Oh yeah, Conclave. Never saw that. Furiosa, as it actually felt more like a Mad Max film than Fury Road did, though it is a bit too CGI laden in places. Mm-hmm. That's interesting because It's like I see what you're saying, but also Fury Road is like what he wanted to do for Road Warrior. I feel like he'd just like make a movie that's an entire chase scene. But Wicked, I just love musicals, and this was the best I've seen in some time. That finally hit streaming. I'm gonna try to watch that, if not today, maybe in the next couple of days.
Like $20 to rent though.
I mean, that's one movie ticket instead of me having to buy 4. You know,
That's true. That's true.
That's saving me $80.
Hell yeah.
And Conclave, I'm interested what you think. Nice to get a proper grown-up thriller is all I'll say. Yeah, one of my friends saw that, Claire Release or somebody, and I think they liked it.
That's also on Peacock now.
Oh shit. Might have to re-up my Peacock. Best TV was Penguin, dude. I was pretty disappointed in the Batman, and almost great film, but Penguin blew me away every episode. Yeah, I really liked Penguin.
Yeah, it's the best.
Anything else? My top films I finally saw this year, but that were released ages ago. Robot Dreams, Thelma and Louise, On the Waterfront, The Hitcher, Defending Your Life. I love that movie. Cachet, hell yeah, baby. Going in Style, the original Martin Brest, not the remake. Blowout. I watched that for the first time this year too.
Yeah, Blowout's good as a conversation fan, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I like the conversation way more. Yeah. Way more. But Blowout is cool.
Good scream. Good scream.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Finally, just want to give a love and respect to physical media. Maybe I'm the last of a dying breed, but I love owning films and building up my collection. I got my little modest Blu-ray collection here, and I've got a bunch of Blu-rays and DVDs in a case.
Dude,
I've got vinyl for days.
Like, people have forgotten. People have forgotten. Like, I put on Batman Begins. It was just on HBO, and I didn't want to go grab my disc, so I was like, I'll just put it on. I lasted like 2 minutes, and then had to get my Blu-ray, and not even a 4K Blu-ray, just a normal Blu-ray. And in real time, I saw how different it was. Oh my god!
How good is your internet?
It's different on Blu-ray.
Fucking insane different on
Blu-ray.
Yeah, like, dude.
That's why I got an Apple TV, because like you can plug it in with a fucking Ethernet cable. Because for years I had a Chromecast, and it was wireless only. And even though I have great internet, like the TV or something blocks the Wi-Fi just enough that it would fluctuate in quality as we're watching a movie. And I was like, I cannot stand this. I cannot handle this.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Apple TV hits though, like because it's plugged in. It stays 4K the whole time. It doesn't fluctuate quality. But yeah, Blu-rays, it's just solid.
That's the way. Yeah, I have a good internet. And yeah, on HBO, Batman looked like shit.
HBO is also so fucking quiet.
Yeah,
HBO Max is crazy. Yeah. Like, you have to like pump stuff up to like 30, 40, 50 sometimes on the speaker. Yeah. It's bananas. A few left here. Beto's Burrito, favorite show of 24 was Frieren. Thank you, Jason.
Sounds like an anime.
It sounds like an anime, yeah, okay. An extremely life-affirming anime that legitimately was therapeutic for me. It's one of my favorite optimistic takes on the human condition. It's not without its anime tropes, but when its understated storytelling hits, it hits hard. I mean, you need the tropes. If the show doesn't have an upskirt, I'm not going to watch it. Yeah.
I fucking love anime tropes. Sign me up.
For movies, I'll echo Oliver Leland's take, and recommend Look Back, great and poignant love letter to creatives. I don't know if we've gotten to Oliver Leland yet. Oliver Leland's the last one. We'll look forward to that. Super Sushi. Horror movie fans had a great year. Abigail, Trap, The Substance, Heretic, A Quiet Place Day One. Seemingly every month a banger. My favorite non-horror movie was Juror Number 2. I'm a sucker for courtroom dramas.
Nicholas
This
Hoult.
one had
Yeah, here we
very
go.
juicy
Here he is
fandom.
again.
Yeah,
Nicholas
Nicholas
Hoult.
Hoult, dude.
The Holtessance.
I want to see Abigail. I haven't seen that one yet. I enjoyed Trap. I thought it was fun.
Same, yeah, Trap's good.
Yeah, Trap is fun. Good,
It's
good
fun. Like, it's goofy.
good fun time.
Like, if you're going into that and you're not ready to have a goofy fun time, like, you're watching it wrong. Quiet Place Day
Shyamalan
One
has
was good. It's
transitioned
just
from like
depressing.
absolute masterpieces to shit, but now he's like back into.
He's coming back. Yeah.
He's just back into like, I'm gonna make really cool, fun movies. Like, they're just fun, dude.
I would
What was
say
it?
he
It was
has
old, that, and one other one. The Visit?
Knock
Yeah,
at the Door,
Visit.
The Visit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Knock at the Cabin or whatever. I
haven't
would
seen
say
that
that
one
he
yet.
has one masterpiece and a couple of good ones.
I think Sixth Sense and Signs both are masterpieces. Like, straight
I think Unbreakable is better than Science, personally. It just doesn't end.
I like Unbreakable a lot. I'm just a sucker for Signs.
Favorite TV shows from Super Sushi, A Man on the Inside. As someone who loved The Good Place, I was so happy that a reunion of Michael Schur and Ted Danson resulted in another 10 out of 10 show. Close second were The Penguin and The Creep Tapes.
Loved the Creep Tapes.
Yeah, you were talking about this
You were
last
talking about Creep
month.
Tapes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Out. Creep
You gave
Tapes.
such a great pitch on that. Yeah.
Dude. Oh, I can't wait for the third movie. I hope that's this year.
Anything else? Like last year, I'd like to know what was your favorite movie/show you watched this year that didn't release this year. Looking forward to another year of listening to your excellent opinions. Thank you, Super Sushi.
So this is a question for us. They're asking.
Yeah, like what was your favorite
Okay.
movie of this year that didn't come out this year? Or show?
For me, it was The Devils by Ken Russell.
Oh.
That was like such a hard movie to find forever. I'd wanted to see it since I was a teenager, and Criterion Collection finally put it out. And it was better than I ever imagined. It was crazier than I imagined, and it was just wild. It was about like nuns who had this crush on this guy, on this priest, and then it had politics, and they went wild, and there was like accusations of them being possessed.
Whoa.
It was so good, and it was yeah. And I said on my birthday, Jessica, will you please watch this with me? And it was she did not enjoy it. It was my fault. I did not prepare her for how wild it was, and it was banned and censored everywhere, and for a reason. And I did not properly prepare her for how much it was. And that was on me. That was on me. It was censored and banned for a reason.
Incredible.
And now it's off Criterion and impossible to find now.
Oh.
Again. But 1971, The Devils, is such a masterpiece.
The Devils.
Ken Russell, he did Lair of the White Worm and Altered States.
Yeah, Altered States,
Another
yeah.
cool movie.
I was like, Ken Russell, I know that. Yeah.
And this is like probably his best movie, about, like persecution and mania and religion. So good.
Nice.
How about the rest of you?
That reminds me, the Nosferatu reminded me of Indica. I was getting Indica
yeah.
vibes here and there.
Indica is one of my favorite games of this year, dude.
Oh, sick.
Really good. Parallel Mothers is a Moldovar film that I watched this year that was from 21. I loved it. Made me go find a jacket and buy a jacket because
That jacket's cool.
Great
that jacket's
jacket.
very cool.
but just a good movie. I mean, I love a Moldovar. I don't know if I'll watch his English language feature debut because it's about like hospice, and I'm like, I don't need to do this. Maybe.
Oh, those are hard movies.
Yeah.
Shoplifting. By far. That was the best
You saw
movie.
Shop.
Yeah, we talked about it. That was the best.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about it.
That
Yeah.
movie's the best.
I gotta see this.
Yeah. That's just the best movie.
Koreeda, yeah, I need to see more by him. I need to see Monster, his newest movie, or one of his newest movies, yeah.
For sure.
A couple more. Colin Luton, favorite movie this year was Dune Part 2, though I thought Dune Part 1 was basically perfect, and to me, Dune 2 was even better than that. Leaning into the sinister aspects of Paul's rise, I think brought home the point of Dune even better than the book did. They're not a huge fan of the book. Hot take, maybe. It's funny, there's a billboard that is in LA that says, it's like a for your consideration for Dune Part 2, and it says, the future is what we make it, or something like that. And I'm like, that the more you know about Dune, the more that's a threat.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting. A close second, though, was Wild Robot, which I have not seen mentioned a lot on this year-end lists, but it was phenomenal and touching. The part where the geese start their migration, I looked over in the theater, and there was a dad squeezing the child in his lap like a teddy bear and trembling with tears. Oh, and as a big fan of both animation and robots, it was awesome having the Wild Robot and Transformers 1 in theaters at the same time. I was feasting.
Hell yeah.
I need to see this movie. I've been putting it off because I don't want to ugly cry. It sounds like it's a tearjerker. Favorite show was Shogun, which a lot of people are going to have things to say about, I bet. But as a bonus, don't sleep on Dune Prophecy. Fuck yeah. It's no sci-fi GOT, but if you were disappointed by the lack of space palace intrigue and Bene Gesserit scheming from the Dune movies, it's all in the show. Don't skip.
Great companion to the movies, for real. Great
for
companion.
real, yeah. It really is. I enjoyed Shogun.
Was it this year?
I don't know. No, it won a bunch of Emmys from last year, so it must have been last year? I don't remember. Colt Smith, favorite of 24. Those that ended up standing out to me were...
2024, dude. What?
Crazy.
February of 2024 was Shogun? What the fuck?
That's
dude?
Crazy.
What the hell?
Stand-up movies for Colt Smith: Stop Motion, Dune 2, Love Lies Bleeding, Exuma, which is a Korean horror
fantasy Korean drama. One, yeah.
Dude, yes.
Civil War, Three Musketeers, Part 2, Milady, never heard of that. Furiosa, Inside Out 2, Quiet Place, Day 1, Smile 2, Gladiator 2, Monkey Man, Starvaker, loved Starvaker, and Hellhole. Of these, the number one spot has been a tie between Love Lies Bleeding, Dune 2, and Starvaker. Yeah, I love
Tell me about Starvaker.
It's a pretty low, pretty staid folk horror from 2023, actually, I think. But I think it came out on stuff in 24. It's Matt Smith and Morfydd Clark, Gladriel from Rings of Power. And she's in Saint Maud, but they are on a farmhouse that they have inherited, I think, and stuff happens. It's interesting. I think you would dig it, Matt. I think you.
I have to look into it. I don't think I've heard of it besides just this particular list. Yeah.
I think like you and I think I talked about it a couple months ago, but
okay.
Because you and I love folk horror. I really liked Starvaker, so
okay, great.
Like not the best folk horror I've ever seen by any stretch, but real good. And I like both of those actors a lot. Their favorite shows are Delicious and Dungeon, JJK, Shibuya Incident, Arcane, Bodkin, and Fallout. I liked Bodkin and Fallout. Anything else? Just how awesome y'all are, and well wishes for the coming year. Thank you.
That's so nice.
Thank you,
They think they would also likely add Penguin, but haven't seen it yet. Haley Nicole Miller, favorite film of 2024 was Abigail. Loved seeing Melissa Barrera get a chance to do more horror alongside Catherine Newton and Giancarlo. Favorite show was Fallout. What a lovely adaptation. Great acting choices made by Goggins. Extra shout out to Superman and Lois for ending excellently. Nice. Yeah, Fallout was such an accurate adaptation of that universe. And last one, Oliver Leland. My favorite film of 24 was Look Back. Succinct, understated, and devastating anime about letting someone into your heart despite or because of how they challenge your ego. My favorite show of 24 was The Penguin, which is about the Penguin. I also want to call out Toei for the despicable release of the Daft Punk / Leiji Matsumoto collab Interstellar 5555, which looked like absolute dog shit thanks to terrible AI upscale. Oh, is that the
Jeez.
Daft Punk anime?
Why would they do that to that?
Great job, losers. Matsumoto literally died last year, and this release is absolutely shameful. Hey, music was good, though, I guess. Love and respect.
It's so short, too. Why would you... It's
Well, they also-
what is it, like 20-something minutes? You're going to
it's
do
not that
AI to
long.
that?
It's the whole album, yeah.
Yeah, just like take the time to like, yeah. Oh, God. How terrible.
Oliver Leland came back later, a week later, and said, something happened and I need to change my answers. Transformers 1 is the best movie I saw this year.
That's very funny.
And that's that.
Wow, what
You have our
great contributions. Yeah, thank you,
that was
everyone.
good. Now for our personal top 10s, and then we're done for the
top 10.
for the year.
In a gaming year.
Rock and
QB, you
roll.
want to go first? Do you have them?
Smile 2 is my favorite movie of the year, for sure.
I started with number 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the one I care most about, and it's just like easily my favorite. It's like the best. I just love a fucking like 2-hour, 20-minute epic, dude. Smile 2 is a fucking epic.
I gotta
Like,
see
it's
it.
not just a horror movie. It is an epic.
The commercial trailer, the commercial for it, the trailer looks so good. I have a question for you. How much time do they spend in the world of pop stardom?
A very good amount of
Okay, great,
vast amount.
Because the costumes look cool
Yeah.
to me, and I'm a simple person. I
Yeah.
love sparkly things. I love
lot of
production
sparkles.
design, and I love costumes. I really do.
Sparkles.
Like
No, for real,
things that catch my eye are shiny things and sparkly things.
Yeah.
Like hang them in front of my eyes, and I'll be happy. And like. And and then kill things, you know, combine them both together,
Kills
and I'm
and
just
sparkles.
dazzled, you know. And so, like, I saw the trailer, and I was like, this looks really good to me. Yeah. So great.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Wild Robot. Absolutely. Just the most emotional movie of the year. The one that made me feel the most, you know? Those are like really the only two that really, you know, that haven't really been talked about too much here.
Yeah.
I think at the top of the show we were talking about like it was a good year for movie. There were just a lot of good movies, you know, but the ones that like I'll be thinking about in 10 years, like those were the two. Every other movie I saw was like I come out of the theater like, oh, that was great, loved it, but then like don't really think about it. I still think about The Wild Robot and Smile 2.
For me, it was an interesting year because, like we were talking about before, like a lot of things I was looking forward to didn't hit the mark for me, like Drive Away Dolls,
Oh yeah.
First Omen,
I forgot about that.
Alien Romulus, Long Legs, Cuckoo, Substance, Speak No Evil, Oddity. Hot Frosty was the lowest rated movie. I gave it a 0.5 star on my letterbox, but I mean that I didn't expect to be good. But yeah, all of those movies I gave 3 stars or worse.
Who wants to eat a hot frosty though? That sounds gross.
It's a new year. Maybe I'll
it's
finally
melted,
start
yeah.
a Letterboxd.
Letterbox is fun. I just use it to keep track of what I've done in my life. But like, similarly to Huber, my list of favorites, like, you know, I enjoyed Beetlejuice, but like I wouldn't put it on a top list. TV Glow, Strange Darling, and Love Lies Bleeding. That's like, those are the ones from this year, I guess. Like, I truly loved a lot of TV.
So
I think like
much. Oh
yeah,
my
like
God.
Black Doves, Shogun, Silo from Interview with the Vampire is probably number 1 on TV for me. But movies to me were, like it's kind of a TV year.
Yeah, TV fucking cooked.
But yeah, TV Glow is just, we've talked about it. It's strong. Strange Darling is not for everybody, but I really appreciated it. And Love Lies Bleeding, it was like I love I love queer narratives that don't have to just be about like being queer is incidental to that story, kind of. It's more of a crime thriller, where they just happen to be gay, and like it obviously like lives within the world of their gayness, but like is doesn't have to explain it or so I appreciated that. Yeah.
All three of those movies are movies I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've seen them. I watched them last year.
But they're not. They're unlike other stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm watching new movies here. Like
Yeah.
I'm watching something I haven't seen before. They were so original. They were breaking new earth.
Yeah. Fully.
Yeah. I love that about them. Yeah. They were so cool. They were saying new things. They were saying new things that haven't been said before and that needed to be said. And I love that. I love watching a movie where I'm grabbing the armchairs in the theater, even though I saw them all at home, but metaphorically, I'm like, what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. That's my favorite feeling when I'm watching a movie.
Yes.
What the fuck's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool.
All right. Conversely from us, you have like a well curated and thought out, prepared list. It sounds like
a heartbreaking list. I battled over this for like 2 weeks, and I was like, things just got like knocked out, and like because there were so many good movies this last year, and I watched a lot in the last month. So I'm just gonna run through them quickly, so I don't waste everyone's time or monopolize it. But I have a top 10. Number 10. Which Tokyo Slim had been like pitching all year. He was like, you need to see this movie. Please see this movie. Patron Saint, Tokyo Slim. Yeah. And I finally saw it. People's Joker.
Sorry, my thing went out.
People's Joker, directed by Vera Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Vera Drew. Yeah.
I need to see this one, yeah.
Really cool movie. Just and talk about punk rock. Like it's not like it doesn't have anything to do with punk rock, but like a complete personal take on the DC universe with no permission whatsoever. Yeah. It's just like with like really scrappy like computer graphics and artwork, and like the way that Twin Peaks season 3, some of those visual effects feel imperfect but also perfect,
but intentional.
This is what it's supposed to look like. And just I've never felt like something that just felt like such a like love letter and a fuck you to culture and corporation and like so from the heart. And it's got so many rough edges, but you're just like, this is just a personal movie. Like, cool. I just love it. There need to be more movies like this. I'm so curious what the budget is. I'm sure I could find out.
Probably not a lot.
Like, there should be more movies like this, and with no permission whatsoever. They were just like, I'm making this. Who cares if I have permission to make this? There need to be like more things like this in the world. Love it. Yeah, go see it. Yeah. Number 9 is Red Rooms, a French movie. Pascal Plante made this movie. It's about a sociopath, maybe a group of sociopaths who are obsessed with a serial killer. The serial killer is on trial, and these are just fangirls of the serial killer, and they just go every day to his trial, and they love him. And they're just like, this serial killer is amazing. We love everything he did. Maybe he's innocent, or maybe he did it, and we just think he's really cool. This movie was the scariest movie I've seen all year, scariest movie I've seen in many years. I know maybe I remember some of y'all weren't that hot on Nightcrawler, right? Y'all hated Nightcrawler.
I didn't like it.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah. What, you like Nightcrawler, Huber?
Wait, Nightcrawler with Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
11 out of 10.
Yeah, me too.
It's one of my favorite movies ever.
I like Nightcrawler. Well, I like Nightcrawler because I thought Gyllenhaal just did a great job. Like I thought he was very accurate sociopath. This has like just an amazingly well done sociopath in it. A woman who's just a genius, but like an online internet like sociopath. She's just chilling out on like whatever the like latest internet like grungiest, darkest like corners of the internet are. She's like doing online poker and cryptocurrency, like but on like 10 screens at the same time, and just like to like make money to like bid on like snuff videos that the serial killer like did. Such a disgusting person, but a fascinating person. And I kept being like, I want to stop watching this movie. And it kept getting grosser and grosser. But like, you were just like, this is such a well-made movie. Couldn't turn it off. Freaky movie. Next one is The Substance. We've said everything that needs to be said about The Substance. And for me, it was the end of the movie. It just felt like the Master and Margarita. Just felt like, what's that phrase? Grand gooey. What's that? Grand gooey. It was gooey.
It was very gooey.
Yeah, very gooey. Just loved the Splatterfest. Next is Dune 2. We've talked about Dune 2 a lot. Just smart, hundreds of millions of dollars on something smart.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The world needs more of that.
Let's just spend the big bucks on smart science fiction. Let's do it.
Denis Villeneuve is finally making money. A movie that is a success.
And then next up, number 6 was My Old Ass. Have you heard of My Old Ass?
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it. I really liked it. It was Aubrey Plaza and some other people. I don't know their names. Basically, this young girl in her, I think she's high school or college, something like that. But she does like a mushroom trip, and all of a sudden she gets in touch with herself, like in her late 30s.
Yeah.
And she meets herself in her late 30s, and all of a sudden it sticks. And she's able to keep contact with her late 30s, and she's giving her guidance on what to do. Like, don't do this. This is going to totally ruin your future. And it's kind of like a romantic comedy.
That sounds good. I like that premise.
Like a sort of like a sad, bittersweet romantic comedy. Just like, it's good. It's really good. Loved it. Funny. And you see a different side of Aubrey Plaza than you usually see, instead of just like the like stoic
I like her
Aubrey
in
Plaza.
some stuff. Like I liked her in like Happiest Season, but like generally she's just herself, which like works sometimes and just totally doesn't some other times. Yeah,
This was more of her, and I was like, oh, that's what made me like this. I was like,
That's good.
more range.
Yeah.
Next one is Club Zero. I talked about this earlier in the year. An Austrian director named Jessica Hausner, kind of like Haneke. It's got Mia, the Austrian actress. I can't pronounce her last name. Wasikowska.
Oh, yeah.
Love her, dude.
Yeah,
she's one of
she's
the great
great.
actors ever.
She's really good.
Yeah, she's got this cult of children, and she convinces them that you don't need food. You don't need to eat food to exist. Yeah. Got terrible reviews. I'm going to give it a good review. One of my favorite movies of the year. Go watch it. Warning, if you got fucked up issues about food, this movie is very fucked up. In the way Haneke movies are fucked up. Yeah. John Waters meets Haneke. That's my...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So watch out. But I liked it. Yeah. And then next up, I saw the TV Glow. God. Yeah. I saw the TV Glow. And then above that, number 3, Maxine, Ty West. I watched this a couple times. I just...
it grew on you.
Yeah.
It really grew on you.
I mean, I liked it in a kind of comfort movie way. Like, I just kind of chilled with it. I just kind of hung out with it. And good into the trilogy. And like, I rewatched Pearl, and then I rewatched this, and like, yeah. Make a box set for me, please.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I mean,
please.
it XXX, like, come on.
Yeah. And then number 2, Omen, this movie from the Congo, this Congolese director. Yeah, really cool movie. It's like, what would I describe it? It's almost like what's that movie that I can't really describe it. Just like it's like a guy brings his wife to the Congo to meet his family, but there's a lot of religious superstition, like a lot of like they're afraid that they're cursed, and they're trying to break the curse. And he's like, sorry about my superstitious religious family. Kind of spooky. Really hard to describe movie, so I won't even bother. But like a visually striking movie, and like super vibrant with a lot of colors, and a lot of like children like lost in the streets, almost like a Mad Max world, like almost like an end of the world dystopian thing, and a lot of children who are like cross-dressing or maybe trans children who are like dystopian with guns, like shooting each other, and how are they going to intersect with this superstitious religious family? You're like, how are these going to meet up? Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Awesome.
Omen, it's called?
Yeah, it's called Omen. Yeah. I haven't heard this talked about a lot, but I found it on Mubi.
I just heard about it for the first time.
Yeah.
Same. I was today years old.
Yeah, exactly.
So good. It was almost my number one movie of the year until yesterday. It got knocked out of the top spot.
Recency bias.
Yeah. Number one movie yesterday by like kind of like just a fun popcorn blockbuster movie. I'm sure maybe y'all have heard of this. Twilight of the Warriors. Walled In. It's a kung fu action movie. This was just a fun movie. Because I was like, I just want something fun. I saw too many art movies this year, and I just want something fun. And this was it. This was so fun. It was like a John Wick type kung fu movie, and it was like ultra violent, but like joyfully violent. Just like joyfully violent, like like one of the Yakuza games, like a Dragon or Yakuza 0. But
Sick.
like, Kowloon Walled City. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like back in the day in Hong Kong, just like this. It was like Judge Dredd, the new Judge Dredd, but like, real back in like the 80s or late 90s or sorry, early 90s, and just like a kung fu movie set in there. And the plot was good. Like you'd go 30 minutes with like a plot and not notice that there wasn't an action scene just because the plot was kind of absorbing and sweet.
Dude.
And then when the action scenes hit, I kept going, oh my God. Oh, fuck yeah. He just kicked him all the way across the hallway. Holy shit. Really, really exciting. Yeah, it's my number one spot just because, like, so exciting. Dude, like Top Gun Part 2 exciting. Just like
fucking Top Gun 2 is good.
Yeah. And the plot points aren't like revelatory in a way you have never seen in a movie before, but they're executed well. So
nice.
Yeah, I like Louis Coe. I like him. He was in what is that fucking sick? There was like a drug movie a little while ago from Hong Kong. It was like really epic. This is reminding me of it. And I know he's in that. So it's like,
okay. Cool. Yeah. I didn't really recognize anybody that I could like pin down, but they felt familiar. So yeah.
Drug War it was called, dude. Good movie.
Okay. I'll need to check that out.
Drug War. Yeah.
But this movie felt like so this didn't feel amateurish. This felt like so professional. Like these people knew their craft. And like I said, I think this is better than John Wick 2, 3, or 4. Not as good as 1. Not as good as 1. But I like that better than 2, 3, or 4.
4 is the best.
Yeah, well, I see.
Maybe this is better
movie.
than that.
See this movie
it's
and
possible.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Twilight of the Warriors, Walled In.
Apparently, this movie is the second highest grossing domestic film of all time in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
And it deserves it. Yeah, it deserves it. So,
sick, dude.
Thanks for the tip.
Number one movie, and it's just a fun movie. It's not an art movie. So if you just don't like my weird art pretentious movies, which I know I got a lot of, this is not one of those. This is just a fun movie. Just a fun, violent, joyfully violent is how I would describe it. Yeah.
Love that.
If you like the Yakuza games, I guarantee you will like this.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then I have a lot of honorable mentions, but I don't want to take up too much time. So maybe I'll post my honorable mentions in the Discord. So look for that. Join our Discord and we can talk about like other good movies of the year that I've been watching. And I want to see yours. Post your honorable mentions in the Discord. we'll keep going because January, good movies from 2024 keep getting distributed. So
Overflow.
They're hitting streaming now, so it's good times. All right, that'll do it. Join patreon.com/reaction shots. Get in that Discord here and share all your honorable mentions or your catching up on the movies we've mentioned in this episode, and let us know what you think of them.
Next month is going to be our most anticipated for 2025.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Sure.
Put the
why
stake
not?
on the moon.
All right. We will see you at the end of the month again. Or in the Discord here and there. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Huber. Check us out. Rate us on stuff. It helps out. Tell your friends. All right. See you later. Bye.
Always a pleasure. Thank you both so much, and thank you for listening, everyone.